Hi, Catherine and Clem. Thanks very much for joining me today.
Hi, Jacob. Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're just here to talk about your progress really and your achievements over the last few months. So first of all, Clem, can you just tell us a bit about how you were doing in English a few months ago?
Yeah, so in my year 10 mocks, I did my English language paper and I got a grade 4. And I've recently just done my English language paper again in my year 11 mocks in November, and I achieved an 8.
So the end of last year, you were getting a grade 4.
Mm-hmm.
And what were your main difficulties? Why do you think you were only getting a 4 then?
I think it's because I probably didn't practice that much and I had never really had like good tutoring. It was like not very personal to me because obviously I was just doing it in class. But like having the feedback and having like the tutoring's really helped me. Like it's made it more personal.
So back then you weren't getting much personal feedback or advice on how to improve?
No.
Okay. And had you tried anything before to help with that?
Not really, to be honest. I hadn't really done much revision for it.
I think she found revision quite difficult because English isn't her favourite thing. She's much more science based, and I think what's really helped you is that kind of analytical approach to the English, if that makes sense. That kind of very much looking at what the examiner is going to be looking for is really kind of suits her.
Yeah,
her learning style.
We hadn't done much like exam questions. So we had done exam questions, but like this actually teaches you how to get the top marks, which we hadn't done in class. We just really did the content.
Just the content, right. So not applying it in the way you actually need.
I think that's the crucial difference, really, isn't it? Is that actually knowing what the examiner is going to be looking for and kind of following it and doing it. It really suits Clem's kind of how she approaches things. Do you want to talk about the revision as well, Clem? Sort of how you find that quite difficult, don't you? English revision.
Yeah, I find it a lot easier doing this because it means I don't really have to like revise much because obviously I'm doing it like 3 times a week with all the classes and then the homework, so that's like plenty to be doing.
So it's all very, very structured so that covers your revision. Yeah. And back then when you were getting a 4, how were you actually feeling about that?
I was really disappointed because it was like the worst grade I had like probably got, and especially because I was at the end of year 10 when it was starting to get more important. It was really bad, and like I knew that I had to do something like about it because I wasn't alright with getting a 4 or like a 5. So yeah, I was really happy with my new grade.
And because she was getting there was a real sort of disconnect really, Jacob, because she's getting 9s in her sciences across the board and in her philosophy, so she was getting 8s and 9s in pretty much everything else. So there was a real kind of disconnect there with her results. And obviously the English is so important for her next steps. You know, she needs to get sort of, you know, really needs to definitely get a 6, and we were worrying that she wasn't even going to get a 6. So you know, it's just kind of, we didn't want to limit her choices going forward really for sixth form and things, didn't we?
Yeah,
of course. Yeah. So then you joined the course a couple of months ago. Was it about the end of October?
I think so, yeah.
It was just after half term, wasn't it? So I think she's about halfway through now.
Yeah, exactly. So it's been about 6 weeks then, or just over 6 weeks. And you've mentioned a few things that have been helpful for you, but how have you actually found it? Have you enjoyed the process?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I find it like really interactive, and obviously like I really like the homework and the feedback I get.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the classes are really good.
And your tutor's really nice, isn't she?
Yeah, she's really nice. And I also like the catch-up sessions as well, when you can ask like more like personal questions.
Yeah. So we have the Sunday session where you can come and it's just based on questions. There's no new content. It gives you a chance to actually get that extra clarity then. Okay.
And I think what's really good is the portal. I hadn't quite realised, obviously Clem is old enough. I mean, she kind of gets on with it really, you know, I let her get on with it. But I had a quick look around the portal the other day, and that's a real mine of really, really useful stuff, which you're finding really useful, aren't you? All the stuff on there. I mean, I hadn't quite realised that was on offer as you know, when we spoke to you originally about the course. I hadn't quite realised what was on the portal as well as a, you know, as an extra thing. So I think that's a really good selling point as well, isn't it, for revision And also having all the sessions recorded as well. If you know, if there's the odd ones you can't make, or even going back to stuff and looking at it again. You've done that, haven't you, a bit?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, it's really helpful.
Yeah, so you have all the recordings, the notes, and also all the other resources like the model answers and the talks by examiners. So yeah, I'm glad that's helpful
I think
as
the model
well.
answers are really, really helpful, aren't they, to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Brilliant. Okay, so tell us about the recent mock exam then.
So it was English language paper 1. And it wasn't a past paper, like I think it was done by the exam board, or maybe it was like last year, but it hasn't been released. So yeah, there was no way that I could have accessed it. So yeah, it was like, it seemed like quite a realistic thing that I got, because obviously you can't really look at the mark scheme before. So yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, we were pleased because we were hoping for sort of we were hoping for sort of a 7 would have been like unbelievable, you know, like we were thinking a 6 was going to be kind of, you know, and that would have been obviously really good progress, wouldn't it, a 6?
Yeah.
But we're thinking, you know, maybe, you know, I mean, we're sort of aiming really high. We were aiming for a 7 at kind of, you know, for GCSEs in terms of an aspirational thinking, well, hopefully she'll get a 6 and that will cover it. So you were really pleased, weren't you? I was really pleased.
What was the grade you got then?
A grade 8.
Yeah, so you got a grade 8. It's fantastic, yeah. And what was it you think you did that allowed you to achieve that?
I think it's because I had never really like practiced it before. And before I was in my like grade year 10 mocks, I was hoping to get in and just get a 6. Like I didn't think I had to do much for it. But then I did this, and like I actually like practiced a lot, like doing all the Zoom calls and everything. And like it really helped, because I knew that actually practicing, like I had to do something, because before I did nothing and I got a 4. So
yeah.
I
So
think
the
that was
regular,
probably a bit of a wake-up call for both of us, wasn't it? And I think sometimes the perception is you can't revise for English, isn't it? You know, it's like you can kind of either do it or you can't. And I think that's obviously you can learn how to do it, can't you? I think some people think English is just something, you know, you're either really good at English or you're not. And I think it sort of shows really that you can get good at English if you kind of follow the rules, really, isn't it?
Yeah. So just having that framework, that regular time when you practice and getting clear feedback on your work, and then just consistently doing the kind of question you do in the exam has helped you to make progress, even though it can seem at first hard to revise for English. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I think also, it's a bit like that snowball effect, because I think because she's feeling more successful, so then I think she's enjoying it more. So I think would you say that's coming across in her writing? I mean, I've read.
I actually enjoy it a lot more now.
So that enjoyment's coming through.
Yeah.
Which you hated it before, didn't you, really?
Yeah, I did.
So, you know, I think it's like, you know, it's like anything, isn't it? If you can do something, you're getting better, then you want to do it more and you get better and better. So I think there's a bit of that kind of effect of she's enjoying it. So I think that's coming across in her writing as well.
Okay, that's fantastic. Yeah, having that real positivity. And how have you found the group environment in the course?
Yeah, I really like it, because sometimes we do like the Google Docs, so we all like have our section on the document and we can all like write what we want, and then we also get feedback like straight away. But then like also if you are stuck for ideas, you can look at other people's and like see how they have responded to the text differently, and I think that really helps, like getting different perceptions.
Okay, yeah, that's a really good point. That's why we really do it in this way, where we can share those ideas, have those different points of view, so we can learn together. So that's brilliant that you found that helpful as well. And yeah, you're saying you feel more confident in the future. So where's next for you? Do you have another mock exam later this year, or?
I think I've got one in January and one in February.
Okay. And how are you feeling about those?
I'm quite confident. I haven't done literature in class for a while, so I'm a bit worried about that. But then obviously I've covered it in these lessons.
Yeah.
So I'm probably like ahead of the game, hopefully.
Brilliant. So is there anything else that either of you would say to families who are thinking of joining the course?
I think it's just, you know, it's an investment, isn't it? And it is, you know, a chunk of money. And but you know, for me, I was, you know, I think it's definitely money well, you know, definitely money well spent. And you know, it's a bit of a leap of faith, isn't it? You don't quite know what you're getting until you get it. So I'd say definitely, you know, I'm really pleased I did it. And you know, I've noticed a difference in Clem's attitude. So you know, definitely worth the money. And I think it's been a really positive experience. So thanks. And your tutor's been has been amazing as well. So big thank you to her as well. And you've still got a few weeks left to go as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm only halfway through. It's really good so far though. I really enjoy it.
Great. Well, yeah, thanks both for that. I'm so glad that you've made that fantastic progress in that grade 4 to the grade 8, and we're looking forward to seeing more progress soon.